Now for business updates across the globe, Rotus Oddiri joins us. Good morning, Rotus.
Good morning, Doctor. Good morning, Ayo. Good morning, Rufai. Good morning to all our viewers out there. We begin with oil. Crude oil, now at $92 a barrel. It has climbed on the back of OPEC saying that demand is going to climb. Also, supplies are going to get tight. Russia cut, saying they're going to extend their voluntary cuts as far as exports are concerned. Saudi Arabia saying they'll continue their 1 million barrel per day cut, essentially voluntary cut, extending it to December. I mean, I don't know. I still don't think $100 is possible, but I mean, because Goldman Sachs was saying $86 by the end of the year, and we're at 92 already. So this is troubling for a lot.
Just $6 away.
I'm telling you,
$8 away from $100.
And it comes with its problems. Still on oil and gas, BP, or rather, no, oil. Nigeria is in today's This Day newspaper of record. Our August oil output at 1.1 million barrels per day. OPEC quota 1.74. We're still underperforming. Remember, we talked yesterday about how NNPC is trying to make sure we ramp up production. So look, this is how you defend your currency. This is how you bring in revenues if your output is not up to snuff. I mean, look, we have like 1 million barrels under where at our peak, 2 million, 2.1, 2.2. So this has to go up. Still on oil and gas, BP, Mr. Bernard Looney, less than 4 years on the job, he resigned just yesterday over personal relationships that he had with his staff. There was an investigation that was carried out in 2022, May of 2022, by the board. He disclosed that he had some relationships, but apparently he misled the board and didn't disclose the full extent. So he was messing around with more people than he initially disclosed to the board, and so he resigned. The chief financial officer, Mr. Ochin Close, who's a Canadian heavy finance guy, he's going to be the interim CEO for now. Now, one of Looney's plans was renewable energy. And you were talking about climate change and the unfortunate incidents in Libya a moment ago. They are investing about $10 billion, almost 11 if you want to approximate, over the next 10 years in Germany. They want to grow electric vehicle charging networks by 2030. They want to decarbonize refineries. They want to build a large hydrogen hub, develop wind power. And now you mentioned this, and let me go back to my tweet. Speaking of electric vehicle charging networks, this was the Sterling, I think it's called Quora, that I saw in Victoria Island, what was it last week? Although apparently it's been there for about 3, 4, maybe even 5 months. Yeah. So it's an actual charging station. People will say, well, you don't have lights. Why are you doing electric vehicle charging stations? How many vehicles do you have there? But I believe that we can walk and chew gum at the same time, to where we have to start looking at where the West and others are going, because pretty soon demand for fossil fuel driven vehicles is going to drop, and then you're going to have a smaller market. So you've got to quicken the pace. All right, I think we move now to UK economy. Just got these numbers this morning. Contracted in July, month on month, from June to July, 0.5%. The forecast was for a contraction of 0.2. Services was down. Manufacturing was down. This is due, they're saying it's bad weather. They're saying it's the strikes in the healthcare sector that's impacting services. Falling prices for homes because of high interest rates impacting construction and demand for developing homes. So that's it. We'll see what happens with the Bank of England and the next rate decision. So that's in the UK. And then Apple, there was a lukewarm response to the iPhone 15 launch. Of course, Apple now, as Ayo talked about yesterday, they are falling in line with the European Union's new demand or resolution that they move to USB Type-C, because people who carry around too many chargers leads to waste and impacts the environment. But the reason why the shares dropped about 1 or 2% was because Apple only increased the price of the iPhone 15 Pro Max by about $100 or $150. Now, they left the prices at the same for the other iPhones, iPhone 15, and they were expecting them. So investors were expecting them to raise prices across the board because of what we've talked about with the competition from China, with Huawei, and so on. It looks like they're pretty sensitive about raising prices across the board. So that's the reason why they kept it only on the high end. But the response was pretty lukewarm. We come to, I think, some financials now. Afri-Exim Bank, assets growing to $30 billion. 8% on the balance sheet, loans and advances climbing in double digits, interest income climbing to $1 billion, net interest income climbing, that should be 7.6%, I think, so $663 million in net interest income. So pretty healthy for the Afro-Exim Bank. And by the way, shareholders funds also climbing. Okay, no, sorry, that net interest income is correct. I was mixed the two of them, but that 76% climb is correct. It was shareholders funds that climbed by 7.6%, 5.6 billion. Liquidity position is healthy. Their ratio coverage healthy as well. You know that we've been covering the trade, the intra-Africa trade forum that they had recently. And there's, of course, a roadshow that is going to be taking place in Egypt. So we carried it live. Just saw Ben Murray Bruce there, who made a comment that made me laugh. The Director General of the Manufacturing Association of Nigeria was there, a number of high-level folks talking about how to boost intra-Africa trade. And you saw the numbers from our Q2 2023 figures, where Nigeria is exporting most of its goods to Europe, Asia, North America, and trade within Africa is very low, particularly to ECOWAS as well. He says he only eats chocolates from Ghana. Just take a listen to this. I really like this.
The only chocolate I buy today is from Ghana. I don't eat Swiss chocolate, or German chocolate, or American chocolate. I only eat Ghanaian chocolate. But you cannot buy Ghanaian chocolate in Nigeria.
Says he only eats chocolates from Ghana. He doesn't eat European chocolates.
I only eat chocolate from Nigeria, which is very good.
Anybody
dark chocolate is called June.
You don't eat European chocolates.
I eat Nigerian chocolate.
I'm sorry.
I buy it.
Rufai.
There's luscious chocolate, so many Nigerian chocolates, and I eat a lot of. You know why I eat June?
Why?
Because it's dark chocolate, so it's over 70% dark chocolate.
Okay, so anybody who says that they do not eat
varieties, actually, I eat the dark one.
Right, keep telling us that. Anybody who says that they don't eat European chocolates, you're fibbing. You can say you eat all of. Doctor, do you eat European chocolates? So anyway, let's get to more financials. Let's get to more financials. UBA, healthy triple-digit growth across a number of line items. Gross earnings, 900. UBA is going to cross $1 trillion on this trajectory if they keep this up. So 100, that is for gross earnings. 164% year-on-year growth. Operating income, 206% growth, 783 billion. Profit before tax, 371% climb, 404 billion. Profit after tax, 378 billion, 437% climb. If you take a look at the balance sheet highlights, and now, Zenith did pretty well yesterday. There's a lot of talk about revaluation gains, which is why you saw the central bank saying that they should, trying to tell them what to do with their own profits. Anyway, total assets, 41% growth compared to the end of 2022, 15 trillion there. Customer deposits, healthy growth there, 42% climb. We looked at the shareholders funds for the Afro-Exim Bank. Look at the shareholders funds also for UBA. 1.71 trillion. The annual, now not to get too technical, ROA is your return on annual on equity. So return on average equity, 57.7% there. Half year was 117%, so that was heavy growth there. Then dividend at 50 kobo, 150% climb. Their share price now, of course, the headline in this day will talk about how the stock market has dropped 2 days in a row. First day, of course, was for the FTSE Russell announcement. The second day, yesterday, I think was because of the CBN saying that banks should park their money aside. That is their revaluation gain. Still, despite that, UBA dropped about 36 basis points yesterday. It still closed at 13.80 kobo. Year to date, 66% growth. They also have a comment from the CEO, Mr. Waba, who said that their Pan-African strategy is part of why they're doing well. Mr. Oliver Alawoba. Results again demonstrate the benefits of our long-held diversification strategy across Africa and globally. And get this, the growth of our international business, most recently in the UAE, only reinforces this earnings quality. Speaking of the UAE, Femi Otedola praising President Tinubu for the deal that, to relieve that ban. Said we must all commend Mr. President for his shrewd diplomacy to finally resolve this matter. And this is one that jumped out at me, only a leader who understands the importance of business would appreciate the enormous opportunities to be derived from restoring business relations between both countries. President Tinubu is not a businessman, he's a businessman. To quote Jay-Z, it must be pointed out that the president's bold policies since assuming office are the hallmark of a true leader who is not afraid or to shy away from taking actions as long as the actions are in the national interest. And he says that, look, right now things are tough, but he believes that down the line, things will get better. So without a doubt, the current hardship will ease once those policies begin to bear fruit. I firmly believe the right measures are being taken and we're headed in the right direction. And then finally, It's not just Femi Otedola praising the president. There was this hilarious video from a travel agency the moment the deal was announced. Here they are. Love Dubai, yo. And look, and it's a business, right? If you open up a new port, you're going to make money from their commission. So yeah,
I mean,
hilarious.
That's very good and that's very hilarious. But a couple of things, like I said yesterday, Dubai built Dubai. Nigeria should build Nigeria. That's why a lot of Nigerians are going there. As at 10, 20 years ago or 30 years ago, it was just still a fishing village and they were finding their feet. And also, like we said this morning, let's balance this out of the story. The Emirati authorities, when they released their statement, they didn't mean it on this visa ban lifting and all of that. So let's hear both sides. But as I also said yesterday, just want to put in the sure you want to go to Dubai, go.
Yeah, supposed to go to Gabon, then the coup happened. So that's why
go check through and tell us what your process feels like. But kudos to UBA and the other banks, getting very good results out there. And also, let's not forget the fact that, and this was reported on the front page of the This Day newspaper, there were big losses in our market as a result of that FTSE, Russell thing. Over 700 billion in losses from our markets, which is quite a very sound offer. And concerning BP, I don't know what is happening because that story
is men being men
of BP looks like deja vu to me. One of the most successful CEOs of BP, John Brown, actually. He was the one that started this process of BP decarbonizing and all of that. He started a process called Beyond Petrol, BP, back in the days. He had to leave after the deep spill conundrum and all of that. And it was also said that he had all sorts
relationships.
Relationship of the gay expression. Yeah. And this was afterwards. And now when you're also seeing this, you don't know the concept of this relationship, but it's just like deja vu, for BP when you follow BP. But it doesn't stop their earnings number and all of that.
Two things. Congratulations to UBA on very impressive figures there with regards to, and also expansion of their businesses and contributions to intra-Africa trade. I think that was always quite highlighted and very timely with the IATF conference that happened here in Lagos and the roadshow across African countries in the next few weeks and months. But also, I'm very happy with the spot of bright news you put at the end. Yes, we might say that, good news. That's what Lamidi, by the way. Yes, and it's just to say that small businesses in Nigeria just want to breathe and thrive. And to be fair, this is income generation for them. So even in that light, and I pointed that out yesterday, that in terms of businesses and the impact on businesses, we have to also celebrate in terms of just shining that spotlight. So well done to all those, travel agencies, small businesses that continue to thrive and build in very difficult circumstances. Well done.
Well, number one, very impressive results posted by UBA across its various subsidiaries, 20 African countries, and also in Dubai. They have offices in Dubai, in the UK, in the United States, showing the strength of the UBA as a global bank and as a major model for entrepreneurship and strategy, from Nigeria to the world. So they have every reason to celebrate over 400%
growth in their profits.
Massive, and assets worth over trillions upon
15
trillions,
trillion,
and all of that, So quite impressive. But the more interesting part of it that I would like to remark upon is that they are giving dividends to their shareholders. Yeah. It was 20 kobo last year. Yeah. It's 50 kobo this year. Yeah. So if you are a UBA shareholder, you are making more money because what they are proving is that your money is working for you.
Indeed.
So you get interim dividends that will go up. Now, beyond all of that, you also talked about BP.
Yeah.
Bernard, well, he joined BP at the age of 21. He's 53 now. And now at a point where the board is beginning to provide stronger support for him, the reforms, the transformation strategies that is bringing about in that 113-year, company. Now they say he has to go because of past relationships The issue here is that he didn't give full disclosure
Exactly.
when he assumed office as chief executive in 2020. And is there a lesson that CEOs can learn from that about full disclosure?
Yeah.
And BP is saying there have been fresh allegations. And on the basis of that, they are investigating him and they've asked him to step aside. Well, must be quite painful, but he himself says, well, the CEO is the target of everybody. You are in the eye of everybody.
Oh, yes.
And you have to hold the standards together. As for Apple, yes, iPhone 15, iPhone Pro, whatever. Well, they've not increased the cost price, and you've given the reason for that. But the stocks went down. 1.7%.
Yeah.
Although we've been told that that's not to worry about. Apple is probably one of the most successful companies coming out of the United States.
A $2 trillion company.
It's what they call the stock September slump.
Yeah,
and
that's
that
right.
the hangover will be over very quickly. But I don't know whether I'm going to have to go and buy iPhone.
Doctor, you can do it now.
I think I'm okay. I'm okay with this one.
Upgrade required.
Because all these upgrades, we don't even use half of the functions.
Right, exactly.
It's a competitive market. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Not
Thank
enough
you.
time
Thank
to
you.
talk about the FTSE Russell, which
Yeah.
I had referred to earlier.
Yes, indeed.
And how they are saying your floating naira is not working because
Give it time.
it's not helping
Right.
international institutional investors. But
True.
don't let me start another controversy.
Exactly.
Thank you very much,
Rotus, you and
Rotus.
before I have a conversation after this
Exactly.
floating the naira so that because you
No, but it's not working. What is not working is not working. You can't deny the fact. It's not working as we speak because there's no liquidity on ground for it.
All right.
And that's what we said before. It's not working.
All right. Thank you so much, Rotus. See
Thank
you again
you.
tomorrow
Thank you.
morning.
Thank you.